two abandoned, decaying homesteads hundreds of yards apart, and a silent, invisible frequency bouncing between them that shouldn't exist. If you think The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch is just another overhyped reality show with flashy graphics, you have been completely blinded to the truth. In this investigation, titled The Twilight Zones, Travis Taylor and the team decide to hunt down the physical connection between Homestead 1 and Homestead 2. What they capture on their thermal sensors isn't a glitch, and it's not a shadow. It is an active, pulsating, energetic link that stretches directly across the dirt, acting like an invisible highway for things we can't even comprehend. In exactly 3 minutes, I am going to show you the precise moment the team realizes they aren't just looking at old wood and nails. They are standing inside a massive, underground grid that has been active for centuries. If you exit this video now, you are going to miss the most damning piece of physical evidence the team has ever pulled out of the Utah Basin. This story takes everything we thought we knew about the ranch's layout and throws it into a wood chipper. By the end of this video, you'll see why this specific investigation has sent shockwaves through the entire ufology community. But wait, before we reveal the bizarre reading that nearly fried Erik Bard's expensive surveillance rig, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on all notifications. We dissect the most terrifying, classified, and unexplainable mysteries on television every single week, and you don't want to be left behind when the truth drops. Stay with me, because the nightmare at the homestead is about to get way too real. This isn't just about weird lights anymore. It's about a physical underground presence. The team starts this investigation with a simple, highly logical question. Why do the paranormal hotspots on the 512-acre property seem to cluster so aggressively around the old homesteads? Over the years, we've seen everything from military veterans getting hit with sudden radiation sickness to mysterious dark masses appearing on LiDAR scans in these exact spots. But this specific investigation is different. Travis Taylor and Erik Bard set up a series of highly sensitive electromagnetic sensors stretching between Homestead 1 and Homestead 2. They want to map the space between the danger zones, hoping to find a pattern. And almost instantly, the equipment starts screaming. They aren't just getting minor spikes. They are picking up a highly structured, localized RF signal that seems to jump back and forth between the two locations like a digital tennis match. It is a pattern signal. It's not random static, and it's not interference from local cell towers. It behaves like a communication loop. But who or what is communicating between two empty, rotting houses? This is where the team gets that chilling reality check. The ranch isn't just reacting when they shoot rockets into the sky or dig into the mesa. The ranch is constantly active, running some kind of background program right under their feet. Stop right here and comment below. Do you think these homesteads were built on top of these anomalies on purpose by early settlers who knew something? Or did the anomalies manifest because of what happened inside those houses? I want to see your theories right now. Keep this RF pattern in mind, because in just a few minutes we are going to look at the horrifying physical toll this energy takes on the team when they try to cross the line. Stay locked in, because the atmosphere is about to turn toxic. As Thomas Winterton and Dragon escort Travis onto the ground between the homesteads, the team's handheld meters start spiking into the red. They are stepping directly into an electromagnetic envelope. Imagine walking through an invisible wall where the air suddenly feels heavy, your ears start to ring, and your survival instincts are screaming at you to run in the opposite direction. Travis, being the hardcore rocket scientist he is, refuses to back down. He wants to find the epicenter of the transmission. But as they get closer to the midway point, the handheld RF detectors don't just go up, completely freeze. The screens glitch, showing nonsense characters before shutting down entirely. This isn't a cheap battery drain. This is a targeted high-energy suppression. But what happens next will absolutely shock you. Just as the meters die, a massive, unexplainable drop in temperature is recorded on the thermal cameras. The ambient air temp drops by nearly 15 degrees in a localized 10-foot circle. It's a literal cold spot floating in the middle of a hot Utah summer afternoon. If your skin is already crawling, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are tracking every single update, and the discoveries are getting too big for the mainstream media to ignore. Travis stands right in the center of the cold spot, and his immediate reaction is one of pure, unfiltered dread. He looks at the crew and admits that his hands have gone completely numb. Keep this sudden temperature drop in mind, because later in this video, we are going to connect this thermal anomaly to a massive underground structure that has been hiding in plain sight. Do not lose your focus. The team is about to push the ranch way too hard. Consider this your absolute non-negotiable spoiler warning. If you haven't watched this episode of the investigation yet, we are about to break down the absolute climax of this entire setup. We are laying out the data, the discoveries, and the shocking physical evidence the team uncovers. If you are ready for the truth, let's step into the dark. With the ground sensors going haywire, the team decides it's time to look beneath the surface. They bring out ground-penetrating radar and LiDAR equipment to scan the Earth directly beneath the invisible corridor connecting the homesteads. They expect to find solid Utah dirt and maybe some old pipes. Instead, the radar screen paints a picture that leaves Erik Bard completely speechless. Buried approximately 15 feet beneath the surface, running in a perfect straight line from Homestead 1 to Homestead 2, is a massive, highly dense anomaly. It has a geometric structure that nature simply cannot produce. It looks like a tunnel, or worse, a massive metallic conduit. Stop what you're doing and comment below. Do you think the US government buried something under Skinwalker Ranch decades ago? Or are we looking at something ancient and completely non-human? Let's get the debate started. But wait, the team is about to realize that this buried anomaly isn't dormant, it is actively drawing power. Stay tuned, because in just a moment we are going to reveal the terrifying reading that proved this underground structure is plugged into something massive. It is a revelation that completely shifts our understanding of the ranch's power source. The team hooks up resistivity meters to the ground, attempting to pass an electrical current through the dirt to map the density of the buried object. But the moment they send the first pulse of electricity down, the ranch strikes back. A massive, unaccounted-for spike of electrical energy shoots up from the ground, traveling back through the cables and blowing out the team's generator. The screen goes black, the laptops freeze, and a smell of ozone and burnt plastic fills the air. This is classic Skinwalker Ranch behavior. It is a direct defensive reaction to the team's probes. It's like poking a sleeping beast with a high-voltage cattle prod. But wait, if the generator is fried, how are the team's wireless cameras still recording? Erik Bard looks at his backup monitors in the command center and his jaw drops. The cameras are still transmitting, but the video feed is heavily distorted by a massive spinning magnetic anomaly directly over the triangle area, which is miles away from where they are standing. It's a chain reaction. By probing the homesteads, they have triggered a massive response at the triangle. This proves that the entire ranch is a connected, living machine. You cannot touch one part of the property without the rest of it reacting to protect itself. If this level of real-world high strangeness is blowing your mind, hit that subscribe button right now. We are the ultimate home for true believers and skeptics alike who want the raw data. But what Travis Taylor suggests they do next to force the anomaly into the light is so dangerous. Even Dragon looks like he wants to pack his bags and leave the ranch for good. Keep watching, because what happens next is where they decide to play with fire. Bryant Dragon, Arnold has always been the voice of safety and caution on the ranch. He knows better than anyone that whenever the team digs or pushes too hard, people get hurt, equipment gets ruined, and bad things follow them home. And during this investigation, he draws a line in the sand. Travis wants to bring in a heavy drilling rig to punch a hole straight down into the geometric anomaly between the homesteads. He wants physical core samples of whatever is buried down there. Absolutely not, Dragon says, stepping between Travis and the heavy machinery. We've seen what happens when we dig near Homestead 2. We've had people hospitalized. We aren't doing this without more safety protocols. The tension in the command center is palpable. It is a classic clash between the relentless drive of science and the survival instincts of a man who has lived on this haunted land for years. But wait as they argue, a sudden piercing alarm goes off on the ranch's airspace monitoring system. An unidentified aerial phenomenon has just entered the restricted airspace directly above the homesteads. The camera cuts to the sky, and even in the bright daylight, there is a distinct, shimmering distortion in the clouds. It looks like a mirage, but it's moving against the wind, tracking directly toward the triangle. Before we reveal what the military-grade tracking systems showed about this object, comment below. Who do you side with? Travis Taylor, who wants to dig and get answers, or Dragon, who wants to play it safe? Hold on to your seats, because what the team tracks next is about to change everything we know about the invisible dome over the ranch. Erik Bard pulls up the military-grade tracking data and the newly installed Doppler radar feed. There is an object flying at 5,000 feet directly over the ranch. But here is the terrifying part. There is no transponder signal, and local air traffic control has absolutely no record of any aircraft in the area. On the radar screen, the target isn't behaving like a drone, a helicopter, or a private plane. It is stationary. It is hovering directly inside the infamous 1.6 GHz anomaly zone that the team has been mapping all season. It is sitting there, completely motionless, as if it is watching the team's argument at the homesteads. This is the psychological warfare of Skinwalker Ranch. The moment the team starts to make progress on the ground, a distraction appears in the sky to pull their attention away. It's a classic shell game, played by an intelligence that seems to have full access to the team's radio communications and plans. Travis runs out of the command center, squinting up at the sky with his polarized sunglasses. "It's drawing power," Travis yells, pointing toward the shimmering cloud. Whatever is under the homesteads is transmitting energy straight up into that object. If this absolute madness is giving you goosebumps, subscribe to the channel right now. We are breaking down every single frame of these military-grade radar captures. Stay with me, because very shortly in this video, we are going to look at the jaw-dropping physical evidence they recover from the soil of the Homestead corridor. Since Dragon won't let them dig with heavy machinery, Travis and Thomas decide to take a less invasive approach. They use a manual soil core sampler to pull dirt from directly above the buried geometric corridor. They pull a 3-foot core of earth out of the ground. And what they find in the soil layers is absolutely baffling. The top layer is standard Utah topsoil. But as you go deeper, right at the 2-foot mark, there is a thick black compacted layer of highly unusual material. It looks like charred ash, but it has a strange metallic sheen to it. When Travis tests the soil sample with a magnet, the dirt literally jumps off the table and clings to the magnet. This soil is heavily magnetized. It is packed with microscopic iron filings and rare earth metals that do not occur naturally in this region of Utah. This is a smoking gun. This isn't just an energy anomaly. This is physical, material proof of engineering. Someone, at some point in history, artificially shielded the ground between these homesteads. But what happens next will completely melt your brain. As Thomas holds the magnetized soil sample, his digital watch starts spinning backward. Pause the video and comment below. How do you explain a digital watch spinning backward in the presence of magnetized soil? Is it a localized time dilation or just extreme electromagnetic interference? Let me know your theories. Keep your eyes wide open, because right now, we are about to dissect the terrifying climax of this investigation in microscopic detail. This is the moment where the mystery of the homesteads reaches a fever pitch. With the magnetized soil sample in hand, Travis and Erik decide to run a localized radio frequency sweep directly over the core hole. They transmit a 1.6 GHz signal down into the ground, hoping to get a reflection from the buried structure. The moment the transmitter starts buzzing, the entire homestead area falls into a dead, unnatural silence. The crickets stop chirping, the wind completely dies. And then, a low, rumbling sound vibrates through the soles of their boots. It's not an earthquake. It's a rhythmic, mechanical hum vibrating up through the dirt. On the monitors back in the command center, the RF analyzer screen lights up like a Christmas tree. But they aren't just getting a reflection. The buried structure is responding. It mimics the team's 1.6 GHz signal, shifts the frequency by a fraction of a megahertz, and broadcasts it back with 10 times the power. The feedback is so intense that the team has to rip their headphones off as a high-pitched metallic shriek echoes through the valley. It is the sound of a machine waking up, a machine that does not want to be probed, mapped, or understood. Travis looks at Erik, his face pale, and whispers, "We just turned it on." This is easily one of the most intense and terrifying climaxes in the history of the show. If you agree, hit that subscribe button right now to help us grow this amazing community of mystery hunters. Do not leave yet, because the final moments of this video drop a massive clue about what is actually going on beneath the ranch. So, what does this investigation actually prove about Skinwalker Ranch? The discovery of the magnetized metallic soil layer and the geometric subterranean anomaly connecting Homestead 1 and Homes 2 changes the entire narrative. This isn't just a site of random, chaotic paranormal activity. The ranch is an engineered facility. Whether it was built by an ancient, highly advanced civilization, a black-budget military program, or something from beyond our stars, the conclusion is unavoidable. The homesteads were placed there to act as access points or monitoring stations for a massive underground network. The Twilight Zone isn't a state of mind. It is a physical, localized space on the ranch where the laws of physics, time, and electromagnetism are being actively manipulated by an intelligence buried deep beneath the Utah dirt. This investigation wasn't just a search for answers. It was a chilling reminder that we are guests on a property that has its own agenda. And we are running out of time before the machine decides to shut us out permanently. I want to hear from the true believers. Do you think the team will ever successfully dig up whatever is buried between the homesteads, or will the ranch stop them first? Comment your final theories below. Thank you so much for hanging out through this massive breakdown of the mystery. If you made it all the way to this frame, you are a certified legend. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and let me know in the comments what episode or movie you want us to dissect next. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies, watch your back on the ground, and stay curious.